Yeah, Dale, I know you're in Indianapolis testing. What's the track like today, and how much of an advantage will this be for you come Brickyard time, and how much would you like to win that race there that your dad won?
Yeah, it'd be awesome to win at Indy. It's a big race, one of the bigger, it's definitely in the top 4 biggest races of the season. That's why I really felt lucky to have opportunity to test for Goodyear here this week. I think it'll be a good advantage. I don't know how big of an advantage. I'm not sure that it's as big of an advantage as one might think, with the new car and whatnot. We're not necessarily discovering gold out here. We're just sort of running into the same old problems that we have with this car, the same scenarios, and obviously at a tire test we aren't able to dial the car in and work specifically on the setup to improve the issues the car may have. It's more about trying to give Goodyear everything they can, everything they need data-wise. So basically we can't change the car. At a certain point today they're going to basically tell us to stop adjusting. This is how, run the car the rest of the test like this so we can get the proper data and back-to-back the tires on the same setup. If we're changing the setup, their data's changing and they can't get what they need. So, but it's just good to be here to get some laps. We have a lot of testing coming up over the next 3 or 4 weeks. I think I have about 7 tests scheduled for the next month. So that's new. That's definitely something that's new for me, and I'm excited about it. If it gets me to Victory Lane, it'll be worth it.
And next we will hear from Claire Lang with XM Satellite Radio.
Thanks. And Dale, I'm just leaving a news conference at Lowe's Motor Speedway where they announced they're going to have a burnout competition at the All-Star race. They'll select a handful of drivers, and they'll have them do burnouts and then $10,000 to charity, similar to, say, a slam dunk in the NBA or something. What are your thoughts on that, and might you be a candidate for that? Would you be interested in doing it?
I don't know if I'll do it this year. I'm sure there'll be some guys that'll be pretty excited to be a part of that. Working with an opportunity to give to their charities, that's a pretty cool idea. Anytime they come up with those type of programs, any kind of, I guess, interesting thing they can add to the All-Star weekend is always worked out pretty good. I particularly would rather see the old-timers race again. I always enjoyed or admired those guys, and it was fun to watch those guys race. I think the fans might enjoy the burnout deal, but I don't really know what the plan is. But I don't particularly expect to participate. I'd like to kind of concentrate on what I'm trying to do. But I think they need to definitely think about bringing the old timers race back. That was pretty cool when those guys were out there beating around on each other.
And next we will hear from Sarah Rothschild with Miami Herald.
Two questions. First, what's the general reaction you've received from your legion of fans just about how you're running this year? And the second part is you're coming up on almost 2 years without a win. And what has that pressure and that burden been like for you?
Well, coming up on 2 years without a win, it's definitely something you recognize. It's definitely a stat that you are aware of and reminded of. It's not a whole lot of pressure. I still drive for a good team. I still have a great opportunity to win every time I show up. I guess if while this losing streak or whatever you want to call it, if while that was going on, I was suddenly finding myself trickling down the list of good race cars and good owners, and finding myself in equipment that I felt was under par, not on par with what wins races, I would be worried, and the pressure would be a lot. But I feel like our win is around the corner. I feel like we've been in position to do that just about every week. We've had a good enough car to contend. We obviously have failed to capitalize on some races where we led a lot and ended up finishing 6th or 7th. You know, that's just you know, you just got to be able to make the right decisions at the end of the race, and we just haven't been able to do that as far as on where we need the car to be and whatnot. It's, you know, other guys have capitalized and made their cars good at the end of the race or whatever. But I feel like the fans want to win. They're ready for a win. They you know, their voice is pretty much right now, I suppose, from what I can tell, they're pretty happy that we're running well and we're up front and stuff, and they have to keep reminding themselves to be patient for that win to come, because they wanted the opportunity for their driver to be running well each week, and they have that now, you know, and they have to keep reminding themselves to be patient for that win, but they want it just as bad as we do. So we'll just, you know, that's the deal. You just have to wait. When it happens, it'll happen, and there's really not much you can do other than just be as prepared as possible each weekend.
Next, we'll hear from Steve Ballard with Indianapolis Star.
Thanks, Dale. You mentioned earlier that with the new car here in Indianapolis, you're kind of having the same old problems as years past. Is there anything? I know you haven't had a lot of time on the track yet, but is there anything of what you found so far that you know, seems different at all, or anything you think might make the racing better here in this car than the old one?
Well, not so far. I think that the you know, it's not a test where we're able to, you know, it's not a test where our main focus was to come in here and try to, you know, get around the track as fast as we possibly can and make the car handle as good as we possibly can. We're trying to learn what we can learn when given the time to adjust on the car, and we're trying to get as much data as we can, but the ultimate, you know, goal for the test is different. It's you know, this is a test for Goodyear. You want to do what they ask you to do, so they'll bring you back for more tire tests. If I'm more interested in how my car's handling and how to fix it, I don't think Goodyear is going to appreciate that effort, that sort of effort. They want somebody working in the direction of what kind of tire is going to be the best tire, because I want to tire test as much as possible under the circumstances that we have this season. I want to be the guy they call first. And, you know, but, you know, it's just, the car's tight. It's been tight since we got here. We've worked on trying to unhook the back end of the car a little bit, and we got some ideas and things like that. But like I said, you know, it just, we don't have all day to go through it and to work through all these scenarios and different ways of setting the car up. We only have really a couple more runs after lunch to get comfortable to where Goodyear can go to work.